So, Gov, you reach out to the president. He says, yeah, sure, I'll come. And he comes, he looks around, he says, oh, nice job, this worked. I shouldn't have said it's, so far gone, or whatever he said. I'll bring the National Guard here for you. I'll help you the same way I'm helping D.C. What would you say?
Well, I'd love for the president to take us up on our offer and actually come walk the streets with us, because, we know that we still have more work to do. I will never be satisfied if one person does not feel safe in their neighborhoods, in their communities, and that's why we are often doing community walks. It's often why we are inside of our communities talking to our neighbors. And what I want is for, if the president is going to make comments about Baltimore City, then the president should actually make sure that they are informed comments. Because the truth is that the comments that he is making from the Oval Office, the personal attacks that he's made on me from the Oval Office, they're not just inaccurate, they're ignorant. And so I would just love for the president to be able to come and spend time.
I'm with you. I hear it. I think it's a good idea. And he's not like, shy about going places either. But what if he says, I want to help the way I helped in D.C.? Would you accept it when you know that your party's left flank would attack you like you were back in Afghanistan?
Well, here's what I know. I'm the 63rd governor of my state, but also I take very seriously the fact that I'm the commander-in-chief of the Maryland National Guard. I have had to deploy members of our National Guard in times of emergency and in times of crisis since I have been the governor. And also, I know what the weight of that is because I personally have worn the uniform of this country. I personally have deployed overseas. I personally have led soldiers in combat. And so I understand the weight and the gravity that comes whenever you are activating soldiers to be able to go out and perform functions. There's a few things that I know about that. One is that our members of our National Guard are not trained to do municipal policing functions. That's not what they are trained for. And so we have to be very clear and very intentional about what are we actually using them for to make sure that we're actually honoring the service that they're performing for the people of our individual communities. The second thing I know is this, is the pot, the capital, the investment that goes every time you activate the National Guard. And we're talking over $1 million a day that it costs to do this. That is not a bottomless pot. That's coming from other operations that are taking place. So right now, as we are preparing for the potential residuals of Hurricane Erin, that's now coming up the coast, that will be hitting all the East Coast states. That pot that we're paying for to pay for members of the National Guard to do municipal work. Exactly. So let's be smart about taxpayer dollars. Let's be smart about how we're actually using investments, because if the president came to me and said, Mr. Governor, I have $1 million a day to give you right now to make our community safe, I can give a whole list of things that I would give, that I'll put it towards, that would actually make our community safe.
Let me ask you about your party. So Governor Newsom in California is getting traction, and I keep hearing the same word, muscular. Muscular. The way he's tweeting like Trump, he's going at Trump, he's getting in Trump's head. Muscular. Do you believe that that is how your party, which nationally is in a real doldrums, gets back? Is that the kind of muscularity that you think you guys need?
I honestly have not paid attention to the tweets of Governor Newsom or the tweets of President Trump, frankly. We're very focused on the results we're delivering for the people in our state because we know these are trying times. And we know the people of our state are struggling and they're hurting because they are watching the prices of everything go up because of these tariff wars. And that includes everything from the electronics that they're using to the food that they're eating. We are watching how Maryland has had more federal employees laid off by this administration than any state in the entire country. It's now over 12,000 Marylanders have been fired, who are federal workers. And so we are now coming up with creative ways of making sure that they are taken care of. We have a Feds to Eds platform that's showing for federal workers who've been fired by Donald Trump. We're now trying to get them as quickly as possible into classrooms. If they're interested in being educators, get them trained, get them certified, get them in classrooms, get them in hospitals to serve as nurses, get them in the private sector. And it's one of the reasons that I'm really proud that Maryland's unemployment rate right now at 3.4% is still about a full point lower than the national average.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.